Welcome to Water Talk, a water online podcast showcasing today's water industry leaders and innovators. And now, here is today's host.
Good morning and welcome back to Water Talk. I am your host, Todd Schnick, joined by my good friend, Maury Gaston. Maury is the manager of marketing services for American Ductile Iron Pipe and American SpiralWeld Pipe. He's also the vice chair of American Waterworks Association A21 committee that develops standards for all ductile iron products. And he's also the chairman of the Alabama Iron and Steel Council, which is part of Manufacture Alabama. My friend, Maury Gaston, welcome back.
Thank you, Todd. It's great to be with you again and see you virtually.
Yeah, no, it's good to be with you. I wish we were together face to face, and we got to spend some time together last week to spend some time, but I got more to talk with you about. So looking forward to this conversation. So remind us again some of the cool things that's going on with America.
Well, business has been pleasantly steady during this period of time. A little bit of variation throughout the time frame, but it has held steady and been good so far. That's frankly to be expected. We tend to trail the economy, as most building product manufacturers do. The pipeline, so to speak, to get our product ordered and shipped is about 2 years because it takes that long to conceptualize a project and fund it and bid it and get everything ordered and ready for shipment. So we would expect some slowdown in the near future, but hopefully it will be gradual and not too deep, and things can continue pretty well for all of our businesses.
What about you and the work that you're doing at American?
I was at home for 8 weeks. I am back at the office now and happy to be here. We've got a very strong technical conference scheduled this summer, and the audiences in these virtual conferences may turn out to be larger than the in-person events. I was in a video meeting last week for an AWWA committee. Normally on site, we have about 40 to 50 attendees, and we had 110, twice the usual number at that virtual event. So these virtual conferences may expand the audience, but at the end of the day, I miss the in-person relationships.
You know, I miss hanging with you as well, but I think you're right. I do think there can be a much more extensive reach, which is also very, very important. So these conferences and these topics, Maury, tell us more about that. I know you've presented a number of times at many different conferences on a number of different topics.
Yes, Todd. It's something that I have enjoyed doing and hope to continue to be able to. I have 2 papers and presentations this year at the American Society of Civil Engineers UESI Pipelines conference in August. I've watched this conference grow from just a couple of hundred attendees to more than 1,000 participants now. Some of the nation's most influential designers and operators are now regulars and would not miss it.
Well, tell us about one.
Well, this particular topic has been really fun and unique. The paper is called Positive Unintended Consequences.
Unintended consequences, in my view, are typically negative. How are these positive?
Well, that is a nuanced phrase that does not lend one to positive thoughts, but this turned out to be a very positive unintended consequence. It's a project that I sold 31 years ago in 1989. I was a young sales manager covering our West Coast district, 11 states, including Alaska. There was an exceptionally unique project there to install a sewer line across Campbell Lake, an exclusive neighborhood in Alaska. Float planes at every dock in front of every house, and the dam holding up Campbell Lake needed some work, and a new sewer line needed to be installed. And remarkably, the Corps of Engineers in Anchorage, Water, and Wastewater became aware of each other's need and opportunity and agreed to work together. And they lowered the lake to perform the dam repairs and at the same time install the sewer line as a gravity line across the lake bed rather than a ball and socket force main with tremendous additional and ongoing costs such as a pump station. The lake was drained, the lake bed froze, it was then trenched to grade, and 48-inch diameter push-on joint fast tight ductile iron pipe was installed. It was a remarkable project for many reasons, and positive unintended consequences would be exhibited 31 years later.
31 years later, how so, Maury?
On November 30th, 2018, a 7.1 magnitude earthquake struck the area, and it dislodged the concrete anchor collars and the overburden that held the 48-inch gravity sewer line in place, and the pipeline floated. However, the unrestrained joints did not separate, but the thick ice on Campbell Lake concealed the floated pipe for 104 days until March, when it broke through the melting ice. The city then quickly mobilized to stabilize the pipe and restore it. In a nutshell, the fast-tight pipe is designed to deflect 4 degrees, and the most seriously impacted joint deflected 14 degrees, 3.5 times beyond the design conditions. And it did not leak, nor did it dislodge or separate. That was tremendous resilience, which is the continued operation and function outside of normal operational boundaries.
Wow. That's fascinating, Maury.
Well, actually, for a pipe geek, it is fascinating, Todd, and I appreciate your indulging my humor there. It truly is a remarkable story of ductile iron's resilience and adaptability. That story of the original project that I was involved in and a second story of the restoration, they were all possible because they chose to use ductile iron 33 years ago. These 2 stories captured the editor's attention of Civil Engineering magazine, and they actually published these 2 papers in the May-June issue in advance of the Pipelines conference.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. As I said, those are fascinating stories. So how can we learn more about this?
Well, the paper will be included in the ASCE Pipelines proceedings, and soon it will be linked on our website, American-USA.com. And with the virtual online environment that we have become so accustomed to, I would be happy to do an online presentation of the project. If anyone is interested, they may contact me by email at mgaston@american-usa.com, through a portal on our website. They can also telephone me at 205-325-7803. And we have a special email address for online meetings, requestameeting@american-usa.com. Because this is part of the conference, this presentation would be eligible for CEU credits, and I'd be happy to document their participation.
I appreciate you sharing all that. Maury Gaston, the manager of marketing services for American Ductile Iron Pipe and American SpiralWeld Pipe. My friend, thanks for joining us, and I have a feeling we'll have a chance to chat again soon.
Well, thank you, Todd. I sure hope so.
Okay. On behalf of all of us at Water Online, thanks for tuning in to Water Talk. You can learn more about us at wateronline.com. We'll look forward to seeing you again soon on Water Talk.